Okay, hey, Lindesh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see that these two portions like install chef manage, commercial product, and install chef reporting also commercial product. I will skip these segments completely skip them,
Okay.
right? And now create administrator user. That's what I would like to do. And so I will go follow this command, for example. And that's what I will do now. Is I'm connected to that box remotely here. And in that box, I will say, create a new user or administration. And here we go. So it creates a new user. And you should see that a new file gets created.
Okay.
This is the PEM file we need, right? Right there. So this file got generated. I want to use that file. That I would use that in our knife RB. So what I will do now is create an organization. And that is the next step, which is to create a company called Cloud Genius in here, in the Chef server. And so this is creating a new organization called Cloud Genius and will generate that private key. It is this one, right? So you can ignore the private key that you have. And in the prior versions of Chef Client, you would use the private key to bootstrap process. Newer versions of Chef Client use your client key to perform the initial authentication. So you can actually, in the newer versions of Chef, ignore this piece. This piece is your what is known as organizational validator for the Cloud Genius company. Then you have a starter kit that you already have from a previous example. And in that kit, you will have the PEM file, the knife RB, and the Cloud Genius validator.pem. This validator.pem file is right here. And so that file you have to copy and put that in the Atom editor. So we have to go open up a new command, go to our older exercise for the chef repo exercise, open in Atom, and then start hacking that particular knife RB and also our PEM file. So you will see that this knife RB, we need to modify it. We'll point to this new IP address. We'll also have to create a new Cloud Genius validator PEM. So this is the Cloud Genius validator PEM that goes in the chef repo in the .chef folder. Where is the .chef folder? User chef repo. Hidden files, please. Okay, it doesn't show me hidden files for some reason, but here is Cloud Genius validator.pem. Right? That's what I would save it as locally right here, and then move this file from this location to the .chef folder. So now I have this Cloud Genius validator PEM file that looks like this. I moved it away, but that's what it contains. And now I will do the same thing with the nilesh.pem that I have. This nilesh.pem also needs to go to the chef repo. And that is what I'm trying to adjust and save it in the right spot. So I'm closing out on these guys and make sure that I create a new file, save it as nilesh.pem in the chef repo folder. And my VM is slow. Okay, VM, please respond. Okay, I want to save this nilesh.pem. Save, please, in the chef repo folder. Come on, respond. No? That's what happens with virtual machines sometimes. And how am I doing? Is the CPU usage is high. CPU was high. Why was the CPU usage high? CPU was really high at that time, 100%. So we'll save it again and go to the chef repo folder. Chef repo, please. No, it doesn't want to save. But we'll find another way to save. This atom may not be working, so we'll find another way to save that file in the right spot. We'll say don't save this one and close out. Go back to the terminal. I want to really, oh man, this is really unresponsive right now. So I will find a way to quit atom. No. What about terminal? No, nothing. So I will shut down and restart. Basically force it. So it is forcing a reboot on the VM. Hope that works. And basically what we are doing is grabbing that PEM file that we have generated on the server, grabbing this Cloud Genius validator PEM that we created in this step here, create organization step, and then putting together our SSL certificate as a temporary hack. So this piece that you see here is a temporary hack to basically mark yourself trusted. That's what we are doing right now. And so since we don't have a full-fledged SSL certificate to load, that's a way to work around and make that work for our example. So in our terminal, we will again go back to the same location where we are and connect to the SSH location where we will find that this nilesh.pem exists. I want to copy that file and put that in our .chef full-fledged chef repo folder. So that we have to copy. And this is our private key for our chef server. So we'll grab our private key like this, copy the private key, and then open a new terminal, go to the chef repo folder, and in there open atom, and in atom create a new file with that name nilesh.pem. That's what I want to use, and copy the content that I have. I hope atom responds this time and doesn't misbehave. But if it does misbehave, we have to find a workaround. So new file, save the content of the private key, save it as in the chef repo folder, go in there and save it as nilesh.pem, and then move that file from this location, the nilesh.pem file, move it to the .chef folder. Now that we have nilesh.pem in there, this is our personal private chef server, not the company provided server. And this is our company provided PEM file. This is our personal chef server. So those two are different, right? One is Nilesh, one is LV Nilesh. So two different names for the same individual files. We have to now modify the knife RB. We have to modify this knife RB by saying, you know what, use the Nilesh PEM. Save that one. And then we have to modify this IP address also. So we'll remove that location and get the IP address of the box that we have in our cloud, which is this IP address that I'm connected to right now. And that IP address is this IP address. I'll grab that chef server IP address, so copy, paste it here in our example, right in that spot. Save. So now our knife RB is slightly evolving, as you can see. Now we'll continue forward. What we have done is grab this LV nilesh.pem. We have grabbed this knife Cloud Genius validator.pem. And now what I want to do is run a knife SSL fetch. What this does is basically connects to that IP address and marks it as good, even though we don't have a real certificate. That's what we intend to do. So we will go to our regular chef repo, the full-blown one, and say knife SSL fetch this command. So it will fetch the SSL certificate, which is a false certificate, by the way. It is going to, what just happened? What is the error? It says, oh, bundle exec is missing. So bundle exec knife SSL fetch. And so this should bring down a SSL fake dummy snake oil SSL certificate will be fetched and placed in your trusted certificate directory. That's what just happened. Knife has no means to verify that these are correct certificates or not. So you should verify the authenticity of these certificates. It added a certificate for this IP address in that location as trusted, which means we are blindly going to trust our own chef server, which is fine, which is totally fine. That's what we are doing right now. So what we are doing is we fetch the certificate, we are blindly trusting it. We go to check that same thing. Is it working? So we'll go bundle exec, knife SSL check, typing mistake. And so clear and run again, check. And this will test and verify. And it successfully verified the SSL certificate, the false SSL certificate, the snake oil dummy certificate that we are going to make use of as if it is a good one. And we are just basically forcing it to, yeah, I understand, come on, and use the false dummy certificate, please. That's what we are really doing here is we connected, we verified, we succeeded. And now we have a full-fledged kitchen ready to play with our own chef server. It will work just fine. We'll go validate that. So here we go. Knife, cookbook, list, or I should say bundle exec. And it should show us that our cookbook contains nothing. And so it says the object you wanted could not be found. It is going to connect to a different chef server and it's responding with something different. It says the object you're looking for could not be found. Basically, it's an empty response.
Okay.
Right? It's an empty response. It is not very intuitive in saying what it says, but it says I could not find a cookbook. That's what it just told us. It is not very helpful, by the way, I must agree. Bundle exec knife node list should also show us an empty response. Same thing with our role list. Right? These are empty, basically, because we don't have anything, right? So let us send something. Let us see if we can send some items over there to the chef server. So let's say bundle exec, knife roll from file, rolls, and then the base roll. Okay, take my base roll, please, and see if you take it. So this, okay, this is an error. So something is actually broken. I will have to find out what is broken. It is not just a object not found, but it is actually a broken scenario. So we have to validate what is going on. Let's go validate that part. So let's go read here. So in here, they are doing the same thing, like this Steve Dano is creating a new PEM file here in the documentation, right? Then run the following to create an organization. So it created an organization. Okay, that's what they did in organization. Validator.pem got created. Then it says use downloads. So we have to in feature chef manage. Okay, this is what we did. And then we have to run a reconfigure command and then chef manage reconfigure command. So let's do these three things. The third thing will not be runnable because that is not a part of our setup, but we'll run these steps as they describe here in the documentation. We'll say chef server control install chef manage, which I think we did. It's the the commercial product that we have in our deployment. This machine has a Chef Manage installed already. I think so. We did that in a previous step. So it is going to repeat that install, by the way.
Okay.
However, the next step here is to Chef Server control reconfigure. That reconfigure step might fix the error that we are seeing, but we'll examine and validate that. Let us follow the documentation that these guys have. They have a fatal error. The fatal error is no candidate version available for Chef Manage. Interesting. Okay, so that is a similar error that you got, which is for reporting. This is for Chef Manage, right? So let us go diagnose this further. How do you go to that? You do a Google search, and it says that people are failing this same issue, and we'll find out what may be causing it. The best way to find that out as to when a Chef server fails is to identify hold on, let's go see our kitchen. Our kitchen as in not this, but the other one, Chef server kitchen. So open it up, and in there you will find Atom opens up to show us not this, but the other Atom. The chef server Atom, please, not you. Come on, go away. Show me this Atom, please. There, yeah. So here we are basically invoking our Chef server version is 12.14.1.1, right? So for that version of Chef server, is there a Chef Manage package available? That's what we had to go, that's the complaint about. It says the complaint is no candidate version available for Chef Manage. It could not find which version of Chef Manage do you want to install. And this is basically coming from your cookbook. So if you go look at the default recipe, that's what it's installing, 12.4.1. Sorry, not this, hold on. Debugging is challenging as you talk to other people. So yeah, live debugging. That's why I never debug in a live class. I always do a one-on-one debug, because people will get lost when I talk about what I'm thinking, and they will completely lose their train of thought. And sometimes even I lose my train of thought as I debug, because new things come up. So if you go to the Chef downloads, this is the stable release, and let us see, the current release that we have is 13. Oh, they have updated the branch. The stable is okay. Interesting. Is that also stable? 12.14.1, yes. What's the highest number we can get to 12.4.1 is 12.20, right? So I will change my cookbook reference to, instead of 12.4.1, I will change it to 12.23. That's the latest version for Chef in version 12 series. That's what I would like to use. So what I'll do is I'll go back here and say, you please change to this number. So that will basically involve running a new Chef server with that version, and that will probably reduce the version mismatch. This version mismatch is not version not available situation is likely to be the solution for that, because the 12.4.1 is used to be listed, and it is still listed, but then they have worked on a variety of versions in the future, and the latest and greatest one for 12 is this number. And that's what I want to give it a shot. So I will give that a shot. I will basically go here and update that number and save and close, and I need to create a new machine. And so instead of creating a new machine, I would just play on the existing machine to see how it actually responds, and then at a later attempt, I will then create a fresh new machine running our Chef server. And this time I'm going to modify on the same box, just repeat the same Chef run with a different version of Chef server. And this might cause errors, but that's okay. We'll just repeat the same exercise on a different box, fresh new box, and run this updated version of Chef on there 1223. Right now it is installing Chef, not Chef server. This is just Chef. It will now pick up Chef server subsequently, now that we have given it the action to install version 1223. It should pick that up and attempt to install. This matching version might have the problem resolved. The problem that we are seeing is Chef Managed doesn't seem to have a matching version, so no candidate available for Chef Managed, no candidate available for Chef Reporting. Those errors are popping up primarily because of the fact that I'm guessing that it is not available. So that was the way you write that version is not 1223, but 1223-1. Okay, that's how you write. So go back, modify here, not just write like this, but say -1, and then save and close, and then run again. That's how you debug, right? They don't describe these numbers in a fashion that will actually have make it easy for users, because that's what is the problem in open source, is nothing is written down properly. And so you have to struggle a little bit to get to the point where you can actually make things happen. And that is what we're dealing with. But it's fine. We'll do it a couple of different times and get to a point where we'll succeed. That is how we work. That's how life works. And we have another error. So the error is Chef server core not found for this version. Okay, apt-get install Chef server core not found. So let us see what does you get when you run this. So we'll do another Google search. Okay, here we go. Let's see what these guys say. By the way, all these errors are coming because of we are using our own methods of installation. If you just follow this method that they describe, it should work. I mean, this is their method of running. But I am not using their method. I'm using the Chef way of installing Chef server, which is my way of doing things, not this way. If you follow this instruction, it will work. I mean,
Okay.
I hope it will work. I think it will work, but I don't know. And that's what I'm trying to figure out as to how do I make it work the way I do, which is using Chef to install Chef server. And that is what I am diagnosing, debugging, and getting to a point where I can make it work, which is what I will get to. If you have the patience to hang on, you can hang on. If you are feeling that you're tired and bored, you can go away. I don't mind if you hang up. But I'm doing what I'm doing. So just so you know.
Are you fine?
Yeah, you can watch me do this. You can hang up anytime, no problem. So I will keep talking as I do things. So there we go. So Chef server installation and trying to find a place to get the apt going. Apt install has to finish. So products, view getting started. No. Chef server install. Chef server apt get. What's the latest version we can get? No, they don't do apt install. This is okay. Okay. So the version that they have in the open source download section is 12.15.7, not 12.23, but 12.15.7. Fine, we'll play with that version. Whatever. There we go. Save. And put a -1 after that and see how it goes. So play. So it's mostly about version mismatches. That's what boils down to. And that's why I have sometimes elaborate gem files with 161 entries that log down versions. Otherwise, you run into, you run into these things in the running classroom, which is not a good idea. You run into errors in a live class, people will get bored. And they start hating me. And that's, well, not what I want. So looks like this seems to be going forward, which is nice. Now it is Chef Server 18 installed, so that is nice to note. Let's see what the version number here is. So Chef Server install is happening. How do I tell the version number that it's using? That's the client version, not the server version. I think we'll have to wait for the log message to show. It will show us the version installed.
Okay.
Yeah, it is doing it. It takes 2 minutes. Okay, it did exactly what we wanted.
Okay.
So the 12.15.7 that came out. So now we have a 12.15.7 running here, which is good. That's what we said here in this file, 12.15.7. Now let us see if the next steps actually succeed. So we will go do those pieces side by side here and here. And let us see if those actions complete these guys. So that one is one of those. We'll say SSH. And there we will run this command. Okay, it's next command, reconfigure. And then after reconfigure, we have to ops code manage control reconfigure. And this is the non open source part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that it says you must agree to the terms of the software license agreement. So this is something that you should not use commercially if you don't agree with the license. So that is not open source. And so here is the license that you read. And you say, yes, I agree. For right now, it's academic. So we are saying yes. And this is what we should do is actually modify our exercise in this write-up to include a reference to the number that works. Currently, the number I have doesn't work, right? If you go to this previous unit, the number I have in here is 1241. I should change it in the website to make it work with the number that actually works. So it is working right now, as you see, but we'll finish the whole thing step by step. But let's not jump to conclusion. I want to actually make it work before we say it worked. And that's the next action is to finish. We did this thing successfully. And then once you install Chef Manage, you have to do a sudo ops code manage control reconfigure. We just did that. Ops code manage reconfigure. We just did that piece. And then we'll install this guy, ops code reporting. And that is reporting. It is also a non-open source product. Reporting is a legacy product. Your install of Chef reporting will begin in 5 seconds. And so that is what is happening. This time was the error that you saw, the error that I saw has been overcome, right?
Yeah.
And so that error, probably we were able to overcome that error by modifying this file here. No, not this, not this. This file here, line number 5. Right, that's what we did basically. And then we will proceed forward. What we'll do is reconfigure and do ops code reporting reconfigure also. So these reconfigurations need to happen. And then we proceed with creating an admin user and organization and download the starter kit and all that good stuff. By the way, we will probably have a user interface also going by now. The user interface should pop up because we have succeeded in installing Chef Manage, Ops Code Manage. This piece is the UI part. So the UI should show up, and we'll see that momentarily. We are still finishing this portion.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and redo it, create another droplet.
Yeah, just remember that when you do, you have to modify this line number 5.
Okay, yeah, in the JSON script, yeah, in the nodes, yeah, I already made that update.
Yeah, you already made that update, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you should try with a new machine, blank new machine, fresh, and see how it goes. And I will use it right now with the existing machine that I'm playing with, but I think it'll work for me. So I hope it'll work for me, I should say. Yeah, I hope it'll work for me, and I will also do the exercise in completion, and that's what I'm doing right now. So you can hang up if you like, and this looks like is the solution. So I will update the website here and make modifications to it in here. In unit number 3, I will make that modification right now, edit the course unit, and tell everybody that the number is changed. This number 1241 is not working anymore, but the new number is in Slack chat, and that number is, what is the number? And the number is 12.15.7-1. So I will modify that on the website right here and paste and save and update. So that updated the website. Now it should work for everybody. I hope. I hope. I can only hope until I test. And I will finish the test and then tell everybody next time when we meet as to what did we do. And so this number update has happened, and our exercise seems to be running forward. So now that I have finished those steps, I think I should have a web user interface already going up and running by now. So I will like to see that. And that is what I intend to do. So we finished this, finished that also. We have to create an admin user, we already did, and organization we did. So now we should see if we can connect to that IP address. Write that IP address. That should pop up. Copy and show us something here. And there it is. So we see connection is not private. And I said, yeah, fine. Go proceed. Show me what you got. And there it is, our own Chef server, right? You see that?
Yeah.
So here we should be able to log in and type our password. And we are connected. Now, what is my password? It is whatever I chose. What did I choose? I chose to type my password when I created an admin user. The password was Nilesh123123. That was the password I chose in the command line. That's what I choose here to type into my own Chef server. It says not secure, but I said, yeah, whatever. And I have the exact same user interface that you see in the commercial version of the product. Right?
Yeah.
And now we have an organization and a validation key. We can reset our keys. We can also download a starter kit like that. Boom. It gets a ready-made starter kit for us. So all these things will work just fine now. And so I should download the starter kit from this website right here. That's what I think I should do. So I will download the starter kit. I will ignore the kit I have already, which is the Chef repo that I have already right there. In there, I will create a new folder, and I will go to this site, which I'm opening right now in our our Firefox browser. It is kind of slow, but that's what we got in the VM. And so we'll open it up, log in, and we'll say, yeah, I know, HTTPS error and all that good stuff. I understand SSL. Move on. So I said advanced, add exception, and then confirm security exception, yada, yada, and then log in. And then type my password, 123, and off we go. And here we have our own starter kit, and we say proceed, and then we download the kit. The kit comes down, we save it locally and save. That kit is now available in our downloads folder right here. And that is what I want to expand and extract right here. And that expanded chef repo is the one I want to use, not the one I already have, but this repo is mine, as in my chef server. So I will go to the downloads folder and go to the chef repo in there and open atom editor in there. And that is where I will get a ready-made knife RB. Not this, it's coming up. It is coming up with this .chef contains a custom knife RB for my chef server. That points to my chef organization called Cloud Genius, right there. And that was the piece that was missing in our previous attempt. So in our previous attempt, this piece was missing. Our PEM file is in good shape, right? Our knife RB is also now okay. We will like to now fetch our certificates. So it's a bundle. Now we have to go do these. Hold on, let's see. There is no bundle here, right? There is no gem file. So there is no need of bundle. We'll say just knife SSL fetch. And it should fetch the certificate and put that in our Atom window somewhere here. And it is causing error because it is this issue that I understand. It is basically a gem file issue. So we need to have a gem file in order for us to work. So we need to create a gem file. And we can reuse this actually in a shortcut method. What I will do is copy this PEM file like from here and go to our other existing chef repo that we have already, which is what I want to take this one at. So I'll go from this chef repo to the other one that I have already. I want to make use of that because it has a gem file and all that good stuff already loaded. So I will say Atom, this one, this chef repo. So now I will modify. I have two chef repos right now. One with the exercise we already did, which has this nilesh.pem that I generated manually, but then I have new starter kit. So I delete this and put the new PEM right in that spot. Now I would like to also compare notes with the knife RB that we have from our starter kit and the knife RB that we used to have in our example project that we did with the rented chef server. And we'll do a line by line compare of the knife RB. So knife RB says Nilesh here. What about here? It says Nilesh. No, it doesn't say Nilesh. It says LV Nilesh. So we'll have to fix that, save it. And then current directory as a nilesh.pem, that is good. Then the IP address chef's URL has to be modified. It is not just an IP address, but also /organizations/Cloud Genius. So that's the expanded form we have to use. It has to include that segment. So we'll use that segment right there like this and save. And rest of it is all the same. So I should be able to authenticate correctly now using my exercise. So we will go close, close. And in the terminal and in the chef repo, we'll say bundle exec knife cookbook list. And we should actually see a blank. There we go. We succeeded. Yes, success. So now knife node list or knife roll list. Again, we should see a blank. And yes, so now we will upload our kitchen. Bundle exec knife roll from file roles this and send my role, please. So it goes to our chef server. That's where it did. You can see our role is available there. And that is a good sign. So now we have complete success end to end. And now I can now say that yes, it worked. And it did not work to begin with because of a simple issue. The issue was this.
Yeah, the version.
That's it. That was the issue. We have fixed it. And we should tell everybody that, hey, we succeeded with the chef exercise. So Justin and I debugged the chef server exercise and found out that the chef server version we use is not working anymore, but we found that a later version of chef server works correctly. The exercise has been updated to use the correct version. Thank you, Justin. So yes, it worked. That's what I do. I mean,
yeah. Mine's running now. It's installing Chef Manager now.
Sorry, say again.
Yeah, mine's still running. It's installing the Chef.
Yeah, show me what you got. So I want to see that.
Okay.
Okay.
So it just finished running the bundle.
Yeah, it's a fresh new machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so after I look at the license information, what do you do to get out of that?
So you say Q.
Okay.
Yeah, I should document this. Nobody tells you these things, right?
It's different from the G when y'all use VI and GA.
Yeah, but this Q is not a VI thing, right? It's like a non-standard Q. And so Q is not a VI thing. Colon WQ is VI thing, but it's not VI. I think it's more of more. You know, more? MORE.
Yeah.
That's what this thing is. The license view is more.
Okay.
So more you can quit the more view by typing Q. You know the more command, right?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. So that's what I think is coming from this Q, is from more. More is a reading tool to read something like cat, like more.
Okay. So
it's a long file. If it's a long file, you want to read that in parts, page by page. So you say more. You have to press any key to continue, it seems.
Oh.
And then again, Q. And yes, YES. I think you are proceeding nicely. That looks like good. So the example I have in administrator user, you can use the example as is or modify it and then use it. It's your choice. Yeah, you have it already there. Cat. By the way, you don't need to copy it because we have, we can use the web interface to generate a new, so don't worry, don't have to copy.
Okay.
So choose the example to construct a organization. No, short name. Short name has to change. No, not this. The org short name. The organization short name should be something like your company name, for example.
Okay.
So call it Boeing or call it Morris, J. Morris, or whatever you like, your company, Justin. That works. And so this will create a, okay, you have a typo somewhere. So try the example I have and modify the example, this one, yes. Or just use the example. I mean, it doesn't hurt. But don't use the name Nilesh because that's not your name. So this is the organizational PEM file. You don't need to copy it. And you can just proceed forward with downloading a starter kit. You can download the kit by visiting the website of your new droplet. So go to DigitalOcean, got the IP address, open it up, say, yeah, I know SSL, and move. So advanced, no, not go back, advanced, and say, yeah, add exception. I know it is invalid, but whatever. Say confirm security exception. And now you sign in using J. Morris and your password, whatever that was. And what just happened? Okay. No. Go back to your command as to what you typed in the password. So go history, type history, and you will see it. The password you typed was DAGRT01. Now you can go to administration and starter kit for the Cloud Genius organization, starter kit, and say download the kit. And here is your new kit. You can proceed and use it. That's it. And now the one thing you have to do to remember to do is to fetch knife SSL fetch. That is necessary because this fetch would not work if you have to come out of this, by the way. No, not here, not here, not here. Come out. Come out of this box. Go to your downloads folder where you already have a chef repo already, by the way. So just be careful. You will have two locations with the same name. So there is a starter 1 and starter. Starter is the old one and starter 1 is the new one. So you have to be very careful in understanding what is what. Starter 1 is the one you just downloaded. And the one you already have from the rented chef server is the other one.
Okay.
So to be careful that there are two projects, two different chef repos with the same name. So you have to label it correctly.
Okay.
So what I would do is, I'll tell you what I would do. What I will do is open here and go to the download folder and rename this. I'll say rename. Rented chef repo. And this is your chef repo. And now you can play with it, right? So you've been working with this folder and now you have this one. If you want to make use of all the work that you have done already here, you want to copy something from here and make use of it here. And you can do that like this. Can you type atom dot please for me? The dot doesn't seem to transmit. So can you close out all these atom windows by Control W or right click and remove project folder. And then back here, type atom dot in the terminal.
Space dot.
Space dot, space dot. Thank you. And now I will tell you that you have this rented chef server, which is the exercise, the long exercise you did already. And then this is a new one. And so in that new one, most of this is all basically useless. We can get rid of it. It's the starter cookbook and all that good stuff, right? We don't care. All we really care about is the .chef folder. So that's what we want to grab. And so I don't care about roles either. That's a starter role. I'll delete that. And the readme can go. Come on, readme. You die. There we go. And this can also go. So the real useful thing that we would like to keep is right here. And I would like to actually take them into here. In that folder is where I would like to have these guys. And so your JMorris 10, this one that you have is the rented JMorris, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll label it like that and then move this one from here to here. And similarly, you'll read the knife RB. It has the name J. Morris correctly, this URL has to change. So we'll copy that and we'll put it right here and say our URL is not this, but this. And also the name is Cloud Genius. So we got that piece taken care of. We'll save it and close this window and close this window. And now we have knife RB pointing to our own chef server. Good. But now what? Now what we will do is to mark that chef server trusted. So this one I can delete like that. And I will play with this knife RB again, which now points to my chef server. So I will go here and say, or rather rented. And in there, I will play again. How do I play? Bundle, exec, knife, SSL, fetch. This fetch step is necessary to fetch the SSL certificates. And we have to keep the copy of that certificate in this folder.
Is that a hidden folder?
No, it is inside a hidden folder. Inside here, it just marks that certificate as trusted. This certificate is actually invalid. This is a dummy fake snake oil certificate. This is actually invalid, but it's okay. We can mark it as valid and use it. How do we mark it as valid? By putting it in the trusted folder. How do we do that? Like this. We do it like this. We fetch the certificate and place it in the trusted certificate folder.
Okay.
That's it. Now we have everything functional. Now we'll test. And we'll get empty result. That's it. You have it working.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll let you enjoy. Enjoy your kitchen, man. Enjoy.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed enough for tonight.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's already 11:38 for you, man. Wow. Okay. I'll let you go. I hang up.
All right, but I'll probably finish it up tomorrow, and I'll let you know if I have any other issues.
Okay. What do you want to finish tomorrow?
Usually I try to work at least an hour or two. So I should be done with at least how many modules I got left.
Okay, and remember to delete this box. You don't need it anymore.
Oh yeah. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
So I won't get charged for that.
Yep. Okay, I'll go have dinner and let you do whatever you're doing.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.